Hello, my name is Dragon Blitz. This is going to be an Alucard all bosses speedrun. Basically, the goal of this speedrun is to beat every boss in the game as Alucard as fast as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1, go. And first thing you're going to note is we're actually going to be playing as Richter here in this prologue sequence. The main thing that's important to note about the prologue sequence is that everything that I'm doing here is going to help set me up later on in the run with different items and stats. So the way that you perform the prologue will affect how you play as Alucard later on in the run. The important thing as far as this boss fight with Dracula goes is that we're going to be using the Hydra Storm item crash alongside throwing holy water on the ground. And if I get this glitch to activate, it's a little random whether it happens or not. Dracula's health bar will completely melt as quick as possible. Seems like I didn't get any of those damage stacks. It is random after all, so I'm just going to have to kill him the old-fashioned way. And there we go, the prologue fight is over. And now we can move on to the main portion of the run. And the first thing that we're going to be talking about for the main portion of the run is the first major glitch of the run, which is the death scale. So there's normally a cutscene with the Grim Reaper in this game, aka Death, where he takes away your most powerful equipment that you start out with. And we're going to be doing a glitch that allows us to skip that cutscene altogether and keep all of our powerful equipment. The type of glitch that we're going to be going for is known as a reverse shift line. And what it does, it allows you to manipulate where Alucard gets sent after a screen transition by manipulating a screen freeze in a specific spot of the screen. And I'm going to be setting that screen freeze up with a level up, but you could set it up with any amount, anything that freezes the screen normally. So I'm also going to be using map buffering to help make the trick more consistent. So let's see if I can go ahead and get that going. I'm getting it set up right now. This should work. There it is. And nice. You see how the screen freezed there for a second? That's the room where Death normally is, and he'd take away our equipment. But because I did the reverse shift line glitch, we skipped that room, skipping the cutscene, allowing us to keep all of our powerful equipment. You might be more familiar with a more common version of the Death skip that uses a damage boost to skip past the room entirely. That version of Death skip isn't actually faster compared to this version, so that's why we go for this version in this run. First thing that we're going to want to notice is the actual form of movement that I'm doing is known as shield dashing. It's a backdash cancel where I'm canceling the start of my backdash by pulling out the shield, and I'm essentially pressing the buttons back and forth between shielding and backdashing. There's a common misconception that the fastest way to shield dash is to just mash the buttons as fast as possible, but in this game, in general, it's actually faster to prioritize smooth rhythm when it comes to shield dashing, and also prioritizing killing things efficiently as well as cutting your jump shorter and not taking any damage. So combat and movement is more important than just mashing the buttons as fast as possible. And speaking of combat, because we got to keep our powerful equipment, this is going to be the first boss fight of the game. And the boss fight is quite trivial. We get to kill things extremely efficiently because of this equipment. And it is quite nice because of that. So this game in general, this category, and then the speedruns tend to be a lot more about the actual movement as opposed to the combat and boss fights. So this game does prioritize movement overall. And I guess to talk about the overall goal of what we're doing here is at the start of the game, we're doing what's known as the clock rush. Here, there's a clock room coming up that we need to get past, and we need to gain a little more extra height than just our standard jump. If you look in the top left-hand corner, there's going to be a statue that moves after this cutscene. That statue is essentially going to be blocking our way until about the 8-minute mark. So at the 8-minute mark, the statue will move out of our way and we'll be able to progress. So until that time comes up, we're going to be collecting some extra items, killing some bosses, and doing stuff that helps us progress forward after that point. And the important relic that we're going to be grabbing here in a second is actually going to be the Wolf Relic. The Wolf Relic is going to be used to gain that extra bit of height to progress past there. It's actually unintended to use the Wolf Relic to get past that area. Normally you're supposed to grab the Leap Stone in this game. But we're going to be doing a little bit of a sequence break. Here is going to be the next boss fight, which is Doppelganger. Doppelganger is an interesting boss fight because... Oops. He's an interesting boss fight because he's one of the only bosses that is affected by the stopwatch sub-weapon, which is why we went out of our way to pick it up earlier. This stopwatch sub-weapon will stop him in place and we just get to hit him for free, which is really nice. There it is, and the fight is over. So coming up here, we're going to be doing some precise platforming and backdashing to get to where the Wolf Relic is. The Wolf Relic right there is locked behind a gate. I'm just going to open the switch for that gate, which will open the elevator to allow me to leave later as well. I'm gonna go out of my way and kill that guy because I don't like him. Let me see if I can get this floor clip. It's frame perfect. Oh, there it is. Nice. Let's go. Easy every time. That's a frame perfect floor clip, by the way. It saves like 2 seconds. It's nice to get when you can get it. Here's going to be the first instance of us transforming into the wolf. I jumped off of the slope there with some momentum, which gave me enough height to grab that garnet. And that garnet's going to be used later in a glitch once we get to the library. Interesting thing to know about the wolf is that its dash speed is almost as fast as Alucard's backdash speed on the ground. So if there's a situation where you're able to use the wolf where there aren't like a lot of enemies in your way or something like that, a lot of the times it's beneficial to transform into the wolf and do some movement, just like this right here. So for the rest of this section, I'm actually going to be moving as the wolf and trying to extend this wolf movement as far as I can. If I do get hit, I will get taken out of the wolf transformation though. So I'm just going to try and avoid getting hit as much as I can. Oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah, these tables are kind of difficult to dodge, so if you get hit there, it's fine. Just gonna backdash our way through the rest of it. And here we are back in the clock room in under 8 minutes, so now until the 8-minute mark, I am basically forced to wait for the statue to move. Then I will transform into the wolf and jump and untransform, and after untransforming, I should be able to dive kick off of that candle, giving me enough height to progress forward into the Alrox's quarters up to the Colosseum. And the reason why we're going to the Colosseum is because that is where the next relic that we need is. But before then, we have to do some precise movement to dodge these skeleton boomerang guys. Those jumps are a little tight, but pretty manageable. And you just avoid having to fight them all together. And now we're moving on to the Colosseum. Here in the Colosseum, we're going to be grabbing, oops, wrong way. We're going to be grabbing the next progression relic, which is the Mist Relic. And that relic is important because it allows us to get the Bat Relic. If you know anything about this game, that the Bat Relic is the most important movement relic that exists in this game. It gives us access to Wing Smashing, which is going to be the main form of movement for right after that point. There's a library card leading up to this, which is very convenient because that's where the bat is. Here I'm going to be doing the Minotaur and Werewolf fight, and funny thing is they're going to be standing still because there's a developer oversight that exists where those bosses are waiting for the cutscene to finish, but if I just skip the cutscene, they still have to wait for the amount of time that the cutscene normally would have played out. So in the meantime, I could just hit them while they're standing still. And now that we have the Mist Relic, there's one last thing we have to do before leaving the Colosseum, and that is getting the Shield Rod. The Shield Rod is an extremely overpowered weapon. And here I'm going to use a Soul Steel to clear this part of the screen, take a damage boost, grab the Shield Rod, and now we can go ahead and get out of there. I'm going to be showing off the shield rod in just a second, right after the next glitch of the run, which is going to be the shop glitch. The shop glitch requires doing this very precise wolf jump. Let me see if I can get it. Uh-oh. Very, very sketchy book jump, but it works out. The books themselves are a little random, that pattern that they give you, but we were able to make it work. And there we go, we got the fairy card. The fairy card is a relic that is going to enable the glitch where we are able to essentially sell as many garnets as we want. So we're going to use that garnet that we got earlier alongside this fairy card to perform this glitch. There it is, I got it. So now I can equip this garnet before selling it, allowing it to underflow. And now I can sell as many as I want. It's a little bit faster if you can mash on this menu. There we go. And the important thing that we bought there is some powerful use items as well as the duplicator. This is the effect of the shield rod activating now. I have the duplicator equipped. I'm going to equip a mana prism, which will refill my mana, and the duplicator alongside that gives you infinite usage of any use items. So any potions or throwable items, you can use as many times as you want. Okay. Unfortunate damage boost there, but it's fine. We'll keep on moving. And the shield rod itself is very powerful because it gives you invincibility as well as doing insane amounts of damage, as you're going to see on this next boss coming up here. And the boss fight's over. Basically instantly killing that boss there. So this weapon combination is going to be used for the rest of the run. And coming up here is going to be another glitch. Why does that keep... That's the second time I've missed that mist gate. Wow, that's crazy. We're going to be setting up a floor clip. It's basically the hardest floor clip in the game. Let me go ahead and see if I can get it. Oh, no. All right, let's try it again. Dude. There we go. Oh my goodness. We got it. I was using the map there to help buffer the inputs. Makes it a tiny bit easier. Otherwise, it requires multiple, essentially frame-perfect, super tight inputs. And now that we have the bat ability, the bat relic, we're able to use the bat to fly around using its a spell that's exclusive to the bat itself, known as Wing Smashing. Wing Smashing requires a pretty tight input in order to perform. So every time you see me flying really fast with the bat there, I'm actually performing the Wing Smash input, which is holding the jump button and then doing a 3/4 circle motion on the analog stick. And you can chain this over and over again to get speed. And if you drop any of the inputs, it actually drops you out of the bat form, which is quite slow. And doing this bat movement does cost MP, which in combination with the mana prisms that I have and the duplicator means I have essentially infinite MP, so I can do as many of these wing smashes as I possibly can, so long as my MP bar doesn't run out. Almost got that. So as you can see there, the bat movement is quite fast, getting through some of the tougher areas right there. There's a lot of different bits of terrain that you can bonk on, so glad we made it through there. Ah, nice. All right. Just need to focus there for a second because this movement's a little tight. There we go. And that relic that we just bought, the Leap Stone, allows me to double jump and dive kick. And in combination with the bat, as you're going to see right here, I can dive kick into the bat transformation, preserving my horizontal momentum during that transformation, giving me a burst of speed, and then I can wing smash out of that burst of speed, significantly increasing my movement options and the speed of those movement options themselves. Nice, there we go. Used a little bit of invincibility to get through that enemy, and killing Hippogriff quite quickly. We have another glitch coming up that is quite difficult to pull off. It is frame perfect, and it requires the heart refresh item that we got from the prologue. Let me see if I can get it. Oh no. It was one frame off, one frame off. I'll try it again. There it is. This is a chapel exclusive glitch. It allows us to get out of bounds. And then we're going to use this out of bounds section to get to Alrock's quarters. Oh, no. All right. That's awkward. Here's some more wing smash movement. And you can see how it like gets you through these rooms extremely quickly. And if you're technical enough, you're actually able to angle the direction of the wing smash in this game. So after performing the wing smash, you can hold up or down to influence the angle at which the wing smash is going, and then you need to do that in combination with the actual wing smash input to steer the bat itself. So if you're technical enough, you're able to keep these wing smash chains going for extremely long sections of parts of these rooms, zigzagging in between obstacles and all of that fun stuff. We're coming up on another possible out-of-bounds glitch that I'm going to go for. This one is pretty tough. It's a 2-frame window. Let me see if I can get it. A little slow there. It's one of those tricks where if you get it, you save a little bit of time, and if you don't get it, you just move onward, having not gotten it, but that is okay. There is yet another trick coming up right after we grab the last movement relic for the run, which is going to be the gravity boots, which gives you a very quick, large jump upwards. And that's those right there. Now that we have the last movement item for this run, we're going to be going on into the Caverns, and we're going to be using a wolf floor clip similar to the one that we did in the library to get in there. So I just have to set this up. Oh, 1 frame off. There it is. Flipping into the stairs there and moving out of bounds into the load zone for the underground caverns. From here, we're going to be going into the boss fight with Succubus. And normally, the Succubus boss fight is required to beat the game in order to get the gold ring. And the gold and silver ring combined give you access to the holy glasses, which allows you to get into the second castle. I'm going to be doing some glitches that skips that entire quest line in this game. So all we have to focus on essentially is getting to the bosses as quick as possible and moving between them as quick as possible. So there's that boss fight down. Here you get to see the gravity boots in action in combination with the bat transformation to preserve momentum. And we can do some really slick movement to escape this area. And on to our next boss fight, which also comes with a specific glitch. There is a zip that you can do to get out of bounds after this boss fight with Scylla. That includes deloading one of these doors and then having it spawn on top of you, clipping you into the floor. Let me see if I can get it. Nice. And there it is. We reloaded the door and it clipped us through the floor, allowing us to escape early. I have to remember that my mana prisms are messed up. Alright. I'll be grabbing this toadstool for a glitch later on. One of my favorite glitches in the run. And yeah, these this movement that you're going to be seeing me do with the bat is very, very tight in this section because these corridors are very small, and you don't want to actually touch the ceiling or the floor because it'll end up boosting you in the wrong direction. Now we're just going to be finishing up this little puzzle with the skeleton Donkey Kong dude to move into the abandoned mines. And one thing that's important to note about all these boss fights is you can see there I just dive kicked into the room to to get momentum. You essentially want to get to the boss as soon as possible with your shield out in order to save as much time as you can with these boss fights. That's basically the only optimization for these boss fights themselves. So you're going to see me do that a lot. Here comes that glitch that I was talking about earlier. My favorite clip in the game. There we go. We use the toadstool to damage boost us into, through the floor itself, into the load zone for the Catacombs. Here we're going to fly through the Catacombs to Grand Falloon, which is going to be our final boss for the first castle. There it is. And now we are moving on to the second castle, but before we get there, we do have to stop by and get to the point where Richter is saved in that cutscene, and that lets us move on into the second castle. We're going to be performing a glitch that allows us to enter the variation of the room where Richter is, where Richter's already saved. That's known as doing the Richter skip. So it requires some precise movement in the wolf form to squeeze into the loading zone where, essentially where Richter is already saved for us, and we don't have to grab the holy glasses or any of that fun stuff. Saving a bunch of time. I'm going to be going for a specific version that's a little difficult to pull off, but can save some time if I get it. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, didn't get it. I'm going to go for the backup here. There it is. And here I'm going to skip the cutscene, moving on into the second castle. Never having to deal with any of the holy glasses or any of that stuff. And from here on out, there's a lot less emphasis on glitches and skips, because now we're in the second castle, and the game opens up quite a lot, and this part of the game is a lot more about movement and optimal route between the boss fights themselves, and taking advantage of all the different movement options that we got throughout the run. There is a glitch that we are going to do at the end of the second castle, however, that allows us to skip needing to acquire the Vlad relics from these bosses. So certain bosses in this game drop relics that are required to beat the game. And we're going to be skipping those because it's just a little bit slower to have to wait for them than it is to just move out of the room as fast as possible. This is some tight movement, yep. It's one of the harder rooms in the game to do correctly. There's a lot of enemies that can damage you out of your movement, but we're just going to use the stopwatch to stay safe there. Ooh, very tight zigzag type movement to get past that pillar, get around it. Speaking of zigzagging, one of the important things that I'm going to be doing here is known as mist batting. So every time you see me turning around after doing this wing smash movement, in order to actually turn around and not fall out of the bat form and turn back into Alucard, which is very slow, we can actually interrupt the wing smash movement by transforming into mist and then back into bat. And we're doing that over and over again here after these wing smashes to preserve our momentum upwards. And just wing smash faster and faster every time. Also taking advantage of the fact that when you wing smash against a ceiling or any type of terrain, you get what is known as a terrain boost, where the wing smash will essentially like zip you in the direction that the terrain is pointed in. And you can take advantage of that on slopes to gain vertical height very quickly with wing smashes, as opposed to having to accelerate up to your max vertical speed. Nice. Barely made it through that hole there. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but always nice to see that. Here's some more interesting movement that is only possible with all the different movement options that we have. And one of the more interesting bits of optimization right here is we're actually going to cut the gravity jump short with a mist transformation to keep us in the center of the room so we don't accidentally run into any of the terrain that comes up right in this room right here. Getting us into this boss fight is extremely quickly. And there's Doppelganger again. Again, we use the stopwatch and then in combination with the shield rod, an Alucard shield to completely destroy him. Another tight movement section here. Oh, almost. But yeah, I guess this is a great time since we're just going to be doing more boss fights and strict movement. Oh, nice. This is the fast fight. Oh, just kidding. Okay, there we go. Great time to mention that there are tons of resources and guides that exist for anybody who's interested in learning how to speedrun this game. Speedrun.com/SotN has tons of different guides. I've even made a all bosses speedrun tutorial from start to finish, explaining all the different strats that I'm showing off here, how to do them on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. You can also join the speedrunning Discord, the Long Library Discord. There's a link to that in the on the Discord itself as well, or on the speedrun.com page as well. There's a link to our Discord. And yeah, there are tons of resources and tons of things for anyone who's interested in learning more about the speedrun available. This is one of the tighter wing smash movement sections. There we go, we got it. And on to the, I guess, hardest boss in the game. I know. Got a wing smash in particularly, so I can get the shield out as fast as I can. And here you just want to jump over it to Galamoth's head as much as possible, because Galamoth takes more damage in his head than he does anywhere else on his body, allowing you to kill him a tiny bit quicker. So we're actually dive kicking off of his body over and over again to stay close to his head. More tight movement here. And again, every time you see me doing wing smashes in these rooms, I'm having to repeat the wing smash input, that 3/4 circle input, over and over again, and then also controlling my height while doing so. And if I make any mistakes, I have to react quickly, doing missed bats to reset my momentum if I need to. It's a very rewarding feeling to chain these wing smashes over and over again, in combination with all the other movement options as well. It's very nice. And we're just going to be cleaning up the last bosses in the second castle. Not too much new to show you guys or talk about, so this would actually be a great time to answer any questions if people have any. What is it, man? I actually don't know. It's always faster to skip that cutscene, so I don't even know what Dracula says there, to be honest, so yeah. You should probably ask someone who's not like a speedrunner. They might know. Oops, there we go. How does one learn to fast? I have a tutorial for this category on my YouTube that's linked through the speedrun.com page. If you go to speedrun.com/SotN/guides, all the information is going to be there. This game does require a lot of practicing movement specifically. So if you're interested in a game that has very fluid and consistent movement, not a whole lot of RNG in this game, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it really doesn't take that much time at all to learn how to do the infinite wing smash chains, honestly. At least doing ones straight forward or just from up to up. Those ones are the easiest ones. But it's one of those things that you just practice a lot of, and it's a very fun thing to practice, getting these wing smashes down. So it's one of those things that really drew me in when I wanted to learn how to speedrun this game, is I wanted to learn how to wing smash well and chain the wing smashes together and be fast. Here's an example of terrain boosting. I'm gonna fly alongside the top of those stairs because I was getting boosted by the stairs themselves. That's a really great example of what a terrain boost looks like. You can also get terrain boosts that slope downwards. And most of the time, those aren't super useful, except in very specific scenarios. Here, I'm gonna try and dive kick off the boss. There we go. Oops. To keep my momentum. And to stay in the air to do as much damage as I can to actually kill that boss. And we're coming up on the very end of the run. The last trick in the game is going to be what's known as relic skip. So we're skipping the Vlad relics that are normally required to get to the end of the game. This is another version of a reverse shift line similar to the death skip that we did at the very beginning of the run. We're going to be doing another one of those glitches here. This time we're going to be using a heart refresh to pause the screen on a specific position. There we go. Just using the map to help me get it first try, because it does require some precise inputs. And here I'm in the ceiling above where you need to be, into the save room, and right now into the elevator, going towards the end of the game where Shaft and Dracula is. Bypassing the whole section where the game checks to see if you have all the relics and whatnot. And here is the final fight. The shield rod is going to completely melt these guys, and the run is basically over from here. So the relic skip is really the last portion of the run that's even remotely tricky. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this showcase of this run. It's a very, very fun run. I highly recommend you guys checking it out. Again, check out speedrun.com/SotN if you want to learn more about speedrunning this game. We transform into the wolf to start the elevator animation faster. That's all. Yeah, speedrun.com/SotN. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DragonBlitz1, because I can't get the actual URL for Dragon Blitz. And follow me on Twitch if you feel like it, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. And I talk about this game a lot. I run this game a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me personally. I don't mind. And yeah.
You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love.
And that's Castlevania Symphony of the Night, all bosses. Speedran. Thank you so much for letting me do this.
If he gains the world and loses his own soul, Matthew.
The padding helps second castle. Yeah, I felt pretty good about that commentary. I think this is the run I'm going to upload to YouTube.
Tell me.
So, hi YouTube.
What were Lisa's last words?